On this episode of Melanated Conversations, Yana and I come to you in raw form in our conditioner caps and facial spot treatments to reflect on the weekend and share about Mother's Day and how we celebrate it. We also pause for a moment to process our emotions and have a serious conversation about the events surrounding the killing of unarmed Black men in this country. Stay tuned as we share our hearts with you.
Welcome to Melanated Conversations, our narrative from our perspective.
Here on the podcast, we are amplifying the voices of Black women and sharing their powerful stories of transformation.
I'm Tyrion.
And I'm Yana. Let's start the show.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Melanated Conversations. I am your co-host, Tyrion.
And I'm your co-host, Yana.
Yes. All right, now listen up. Today is a special episode of Melanated Conversations. As you know, on yesterday, we celebrated Mother's Day, and Yana and I are mothers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, no, you did not get an audiogram or whatever on the social medias yesterday. We put out a little post, told everybody Happy Mother's Day, but we were enjoying our Mother's Day as well. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we lifted out a damn finger.
Not a nail. Well, I technically, not a nail finger as it related to like
children, mothering, rearing children.
Yes, mothering. I did put these hands in his head this weekend because it was a little strong. It was time to take these braids down. Now I feel like I got little nubs because my fingers are raw. And as we speak, you know, today is wash day. So I'm right now conditioning my head. I got a nice little turban on.
Yeah.
See me on video. You know, I don't know if we're going to release this video because I got a turban on. Terry got my facial.
I'm spot treating my face.
Hey, you know,
with my ceiling braids.
We doing what we can to make sure that we take care of it. We are still here for self.
Yes.
But yeah, I spent a lot of time over yesterday taking down braids.
So yeah, I was gonna ask you, how was your Mother's Day?
Yeah, it was good. You know, it was real low key. You know, we didn't get to go anywhere. Well, you know, things are opening back up now, but we ain't go nowhere. It ain't open for us. I don't care if outside is open. Mama says stay in the house, and you listen to Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know Virginia.
Sit your tail down somewhere.
Sit your tail down somewhere. So, but yeah, my Mother's Day was good. It was, like I said, it was low key. The kids and my hubby, they cooked breakfast for me in the morning. And then, you know, pretty much throughout the day, they just let me be. I wasn't bothered. Not a kid came to me for one thing. You know, that's a gift within itself. You can just be. But that's why I utilize that time to really I knew I needed to take my braids down. But the plan was to take down the edge part and just leave those.
Right.
When I got started taking them down and I got to the middle and felt them roots.
The middle be hitting different, boy.
It was strong. They was pulling some weight up in there. Like it was some growth. I'm not mad at the growth. You know, but it was woof woof. So I went ahead and took them all day.
Woof, woof. You barked. You barked. I'm not mad about it.
So yeah, but back to Mother's Day.
Yeah.
You know, well, we haven't. I don't think we've chatted. Well, we talked about it in a prior episode, but it hasn't probably been released as of yet.
Mm-hmm.
But and I have some video that I may be dropping for y'all about this. But one thing that I've taken on in this quarantine season, self-isolation, social distancing, whatever you want to call it,
Right.
is gardening. And
Oh,
yes, I've been getting my fingers in this dirt. Little dirt don't hurt.
little dirt don't hurt.
Put a little seed in the ground and let it work.
Come on.
I remix a little bit,
You
but-
remix everything. And I'll be
But
up here gassing you up.
But yeah, so I have been really into getting in tune with Mother Earth. Not Earth,
Mhm.
Mother Earth.
Earth.
And I started, taking up gardening, and I have a few things that are flourishing. I won't go into that because, like I said, I have a separate video on that I probably
Right.
may drop or release this week.
I
don't know.
think that you should. I'll edit it for you.
Oh, well, shoot! I will be sending the file in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's my gift. That's my gift
said-
to you. I've been in a video editing mood, but that's another conversation. We'll talk about that later. Go ahead.
Don't tell me.
Go ahead. So about your
Never
gardening
said
video.
a mumbling word. She never said a mumbling word.
I was waiting for you.
Oh,
For me.
she gonna edit this video for me. One day, I think I done switched to another song. See, I don't read.
No, that's the same song. That's the same song. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, one day.
They gonna think that's our favorite song because we sang that on the last episode too.
We did. I just let you know how we were raised.
Right.
Boy, we were raised in these Baptist churches.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Baptist.
Southern Baptist churches.
I'm sorry to get off topic, but y'all know this is how we do. We can go from down the block around the corner to 75, to I-20 and come on back to the country. And
You know what? I'm not fooling with you today.
Okay, so I'm
I done lost your video. I see just your picture. Okay.
People are trying to call me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me say this tidbit before I finish my mother's story. I promise I'm gonna finish this Mother's Day story for y'all. I'm getting back to it, but I'm gonna tell everybody that I am recording from my phone. This is just us, Terry and I just really catching up. For one, because I'm on the phone. For one, because my computer. She caught the Rona, and
not the Rona.
She caught something.
The baby didn't caught the Rona. Who been coughing and sneezing all on her?
I don't know, but she was PC doctor as we speak. Y'all say a quick prayer for that she recovers soon, because actually our original episode that was supposed to air this week, and this is on me, is still stored on that computer. And this is just a personal tidbit. Make sure you move all your stuff to your cloud next to disk. Honestly, I was moving stuff to my cloud file, and I didn't get to finish it. Yeah. So she's with the PC doctor trying to be. I think she's gonna make it. He gave me a good report. So y'all just keep PC lifted. Keep her lifted. And we'll continuously bring y'all good episodes. But we appreciate y'all, allowing us to drop this late. For one, I think it was, a way for us to really take a break this weekend, because this happened Friday, Saturday morning. And it was like she shut down. So she was like, I ain't doing nothing. So you ain't doing nothing. She needed a break too. So if I sound a little different, just know that, the setup is a little different today, but
Hey, we still putting out work. So
yes.
yeah.
So back to my Mother's Day episode.
Yes.
I would say Mother's Day episode, Mother's Day story. So yeah, I've been really into gardening. And I've started some things. I got peppers and garlic and lettuce and tomatoes and
tomatoes.
yeah, I got all kinds of herbs. Basil, cilantro, oregano. I got all the O's covered.
Okay.
Stuff for because Corona got your girl like, okay, we about to I'm gonna be making my own herbal teas coming for the fall. So I got me some lemon balm, some lavender. Yeah, lemon balm. Some lavender, some echinacea.
Echinacea?
Yeah, so just a lot of different things out there, and she flourishing. Garden, she flourishing.
I ain't gonna hold y'all. When y'all see this video, y'all are not playing. She out here in these gardens, giving y'all green thumbs, okay? She out here giving y'all green thumbs, for real.
I'm trying. Look, it's trying to turn green.
Life.
It's trying. Growth. Yes. Growth. So, hubby and the kids, they bought me some of, I've been asking for. Well, I didn't necessarily ask, but I can tell they've been listening. Yeah. I would say like, oh, I really need this tool, or I really need some more things. And they bought me some more garden tools.
I don't mean to interrupt, but if you release this as a video, and you keep seeing me looking over this way like this, the mama look, it's because I've told my kids we in here recording and be quiet, and I hear voices and noises. So that's why I keep looking this way. I'm gonna have to hit the mute button a couple of times. I apologize.
Oh, you got SWV going on back there, Sisters with Voices.
Sisters with Voices going on out here. And somebody about to be real weak in a minute when I get my hands on.
No way.
I done had to whoop children this weekend. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway,
joys of being a mother.
Back to your gifts.
Yeah, and let me try to wrap this up with a bow, because I know I can be long-winded. I've had people tell me like, you can tell a story. That's what I do.
Crack the picture.
So yeah, they bought me some garden tools, and one thing I have been asking for too is like I would love to have a little tent back here from a backyard, so I can sit out and I can sit out and enjoy this nice Texas weather we've been getting for a little chance. Yeah. And just sit out here and talk to my plants and continue to nurture and cultivate them. Yeah. And he came through with a tent. I have a tent. Girl, I got a tent. I got my garden tools. We've come a long way as women and parents. When you get excited over some garden tools and a tent.
Child, a tent, a whole tent, and some gardening tools, a rake, a shovel. For me,
I got a cultivator. I got a shovel.
That is the truth. That's the truth. And because like you said, we live in Texas, and once you get past a certain point, like from East Texas, you start getting the DFW area, the trees be lacking. They be, it's not a lot of trees around here. And I ain't got not a damn tree in my backyard. We don't have no trees in our backyard. We have a couple of trees that obviously when they built the house, they planted in the front yard, and they're growing now. But we don't have not one tree in our backyard. Not one.
A backyard ain't a yard without a tree.
Exactly. My kid, how are you supposed to play hide and seek in the backyard? What are you gonna hide behind? We ain't got no trees. Yeah. You hide on the side of the house, I guess. I don't know.
That is the one thing about Texas. But this dry soil, I don't know what they call this soil here. I'm not used to it.
It's the wilderness.
I don't know, but it's something.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I ain't gonna go that deep into that, but the other thing too, we ended. We had a little backyard boil,
Yeah.
so they know I wanted some seafood, some crab legs. So they got me some crab legs. We were sitting outside under my tent.
Under your tent.
And yeah, we had some Bob Marley playing on the speaker.
Right up your
Had a
alley,
little-
Yana.
Had a few little coolers, and
Yeah.
it was just a chill day. The girls were back there playing soccer. We was, eating, played a little games, and just chilled and vibe. It was a good Mother's Day. Oh, and one last little thing.
Sure.
Because y'all will see why this was so important and vital in the video. In my gardening video. He even bought me a big Centronella candle.
A Centronella?
Yeah, for the incense, because I'm still getting my feet wet when it comes to being outside and some of these bugs.
But you grew up in bug heaven, though. That's what I don't understand. You grew up in bug heaven. Like when God created mosquitoes, he was like, boom, right here, butt tab.
So I'm not necessarily afraid of them, but some of these bugs lately been a little aggressive. Like they be just like wanting to like touch your gangster. They roll up on you.
That is real. I feel like
plants now. I'm real protective of my plant baby. So I'm like,
right.
You come for them, you come for me.
It's a whole nother,
centipedes, roly-polies. I don't know.
Honestly, though, you are right though, for real. Because when we first moved here, and of course my whole life here, everything's bigger in Texas. And I got my first taste of like a Texas spider, and the little wolf spiders. And well, not little, them wolf spiders. And I was like, this is not going to work. Okay, this is not going to work. Why? When you put two animals
together, when you got to name it together,
right?
A wolf and a spider.
No, thank you. I'll pass.
Two things I'm afraid of: wolves and spiders. Right. You gonna put them
together. Like no, man,
homie.
Sir, I don't like it. Put it away.
And is it coyotes? What is it that we were having one time? It was just they were just out, just like chilling. Like we coming.
They be out here,
man. For that cat experience, he was running in the neighborhood one day, and he was like, "Oh, let me turn around. This ain't the way I'm supposed to go."
Yep, wily coyotes around here. He be out here looking for, and here's the irony, and I don't know if this is right, but I swear, about 2 weeks ago, saw a road runner in our backyard, and I was like,
"Not a road runner.
That's a road runner."
What's his name? You saw
it's Wile E. Coyote. Not Woody Woodpecker. It was Woody Woodpecker, a road runner. He was a woodpecker.
He's a woodpecker. Which one was the road runner? I guess his name was just the road runner.
Just the road runner. The road runner and Wile E. Coyote.
Wrong cartoon. Yes.
Road runner didn't have no name, but it was a road runner in our backyard, and I was like, road runners be out here, and I knew because we have coyotes super bad in our neighborhood, super bad to where there was somebody's animal got maimed or something. Little leg was just hanging on for dear life.
Oh no!
And we'll talk about running in a minute.
Yeah, but when I mentioned that, it did kind of like spark something. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that today too.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that.
But just to wrap this up, it was great. I had a good chill Mother's Day. How was yours?
Yo, because here's the thing. A lot of time when I think about mother, since becoming a mother, and you think about Mother's Day, it always falls on a Sunday. But a lot of times I lump in Mother's Day with Mother's Day weekend, right? You know in my mind. And so my Mother's Day weekend itself didn't start off the way I thought it was gonna start off. In my mind, I had things that I just thought was gonna be going on, and it's not a bad thing, but it was just like My husband had mentioned earlier in the week, he was like, hey, he had said, he was like, this weekend I want to get some stuff done around the house, want to restain the front door. We have like the iron rods on the front door too. Want to take that off, repaint that. And he had mentioned like cleaning out the garage, just da 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 da. Okay, whatever. Cleaning out the straightening up.
Mother's Day weekend and clean.
Right. I'm thinking. Listen, here's my thing. Didn't think I was gonna be involved in the process. Fine, great. I love that. Yeah, do all the things. Me per se being a part of it, I didn't have plans for that. So anyway, the same thing with the husband's going out to get the groceries. He went and got groceries Friday because if somebody's gonna die and catch the Rona, let it be the husband, because we the ones that's got to take care of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's that same rule for my household too.
That's why I said the same sentiments, right? So send him, he goes to the grocery store. He actually goes a couple of stores for whatever reason and comes back. Now, unbeknownst to me, and I didn't realize or know until Saturday morning, he gets up and he's like, he's doing stuff. And so I'm kind of chilling. I knew I needed to do the girls' hair. I had washed the girls' hair on Thursday and just plaited their hair up. And I knew I wanted to like style it for the next week or so I don't have to mess with it. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'm going to do their hair Saturday morning and then I'm chill. It was new, a show on Netflix, second season. It came back. I was like, I'm going to be watching this show. And so we actually Friday night we watched Becoming, and I actually watched it the day before.
Yeah, I watched it Saturday.
Mm-hmm. I watched it the day before, but then I was like, I'm gonna let the girls watch it. I was like, the girls need to watch it, so we sat with the girls and watched it with them Friday night. So Friday night chill, Saturday. So I've done their hair, and Autumn's like out in the garage. I'm seeing him pull out boxes up here. I'm hearing stuff up here in the office. What is all this noise? What is going on? I'm seeing Christmas tree boxes being transported from here to there. Like, what is going on? Autumn come in, her knees just as white as they want to be. What is going on?
She in flower?
It literally looked like she was just chilling in flower. I don't know if she was just playing in it or something. So anyway, I was like, what y'all got going on? He's like, I told you I'm out here cleaning the garage. We got two garages. Clean up the garage. One we work out in and kind of store stuff, and the other one we keep the cars in. So I'm out here cleaning. I was like, okay. I was like, well, I guess I'll just come outside, see what's going on.
That was your mistake.
This man then went and bought two huge, like not storage, but the like racks, like 3-tier racks that he number one got to put together. Mm-hmm. And one for each garage, and then moving stuff around, sweeping, shop vacuuming, all the things, right? And I'm like,
so I'm gonna pause you right there because Dre is my Torian brother, and I can tell you, cause I ain't gonna hold you. First of all, I need to reach out to Dre, see where he got them shelves, and because we need some to figure out how hard it was. We got to put them together because I ain't trying to go through all that. But
it actually took him like 20 minutes. It didn't take him long at all.
Because I was actually wanting some too, and it's crazy that. But I will say, when we get into like our okay, I gotta get clean phase organized. Like we go hard. Like we get we go to the extreme. Mm-hmm. So I can kind of feel like I got a little time. We got to get these projects together. Let's go.
Yes, and of course the weather was beautiful. It's been beautiful all weekend. So it was, so, and it was funny too, because our neighborhood decided that they were going to have a neighborhood garage sale this weekend.
First of all, never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Never mind.
You already know. We were not participating, but because we had our garage doors open and we're pulling stuff out, like stuff's all
people out the house.
People was like slowing down, stopping, rolling down the windows. We not selling nothing over here. Okay, we will maybe at like some point in the near future, but as of today, do not
in Rona season.
Not in Rona season. Don't bring yourself up over here.
Y'all should have made a sign that said bag.
Give us
50 feet.
Exactly. So that was funny too, but Anyway, so he's putting his stuff together. We're moving stuff around. Like, I mean, the garages are getting clean. So then he was like, hey, don't forget, I'm trying to do these doors, stain the doors. And I was like, at this point, I feel like it is, I mean, woke up at like 6:37.
Oh,
I feel like at this point, it has to be at least maybe 2 o'clock. Maybe two. I don't know.
that's
What
a
time did
whole
I talk to you?
shift.
Wait, what time did I talk to you? It may not have been that late.
It was about noonish, I think,
Okay.
late
Okay.
afternoon.
Okay. So
But still,
I'm exaggerating. So, but around
no,
noonish,
y'all
right?
was still working though. 'Cause you was like, I know you was
Exactly.
taking a break at that point.
Exactly. I was letting one side of the iron dry. So taking all that down. Anyway, just fast forward through that. So basically, restaying the door. I'm in the other garage with the whole mask and glasses on, like spray painting the iron rails for the front door, letting that stuff dry. And he didn't even finish. He finished staining, I think, yesterday. So to my Mother's Day. Mother's Day was great. My husband was like, you know what I'm saying, him and the girls fixed breakfast for me. Had my mimosa on the side.
Oh.
Had a couple of mimosas. I was dry. I was like, keep them coming. Excuse me. He was like, you do whatever you want to do today. He was like, I already told the girls, do not bother you whatsoever. Don't say your name, nothing. He was like, we gonna be chilling, hanging out. He took the girls out. They went riding their scooters, and he finished staining the door. And I was literally just chilling, watching Netflix. They didn't come bother me. They cooked dinner for me. And I don't know if you've seen the show. We actually watch BBC Channel. Don't ask why. We both say we watch BBC Channel because it makes us feel like we're in a foreign country and we like to see the world news happening. And of course, you know, the BBC news is like they all have British accents, right? And then they're talking about world news. So it's like, I just get a break from the nonsense happening here. Although they do talk about us here. But anyway.
I'm sure they do.
You know they do. So on that channel, there's this lady that has a cooking show named Nadia Hassan or something like that. And so we had seen her show a couple of times. Well, now I guess Netflix just picked her up. And so she has a cooking show on Netflix. And so we had been watching that the last couple of days. And he actually made the breakfast and the dessert that he fixed was from her. One of the meals, two of the meals she had cooked on a couple of her episodes. So it was phenomenal. It was great. The girls did a great job. They've been in the kitchen cooking a lot more with him. And yeah, it was just a good thing. So I'm going to show you this. My husband actually bought me, because, you know, I'm getting more in the recording thing.
Oh, no. Is that a mix master?
I got a mix master. Yes.
Girl, we coming up. I know it's your gift, but I know that's your gift.
Oh yeah,
like,
right. I feel you though. No, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Sound is about to be impeccable. I'm about to be. I might put some beats together. I don't know.
Oh, can we not do the pew pew pew?
It doesn't have. It has effects on here, which I haven't played with everything yet. Like I've kind of dibbled and dabbled. I have it on right now, but I actually don't have it running or anything because I was going to, but then anyway.
Oh snap, girl! So many things just came. I just saw flash before my eyes. I was like, "You finna produce for real? I'm about to do this poetry, audio, this spoken word, do some music. Let me hop on the train.
Girls is life. I love it. So anyway, that's what's been going on with that. I recorded a video on Saturday and edited the video. So I was showing Brittany, because here's what happened, right? Brittany, shout out to Brittany. You know Brittany.
Yeah.
Okay.
What up, Brittany?
What's up, Brittany? So Brittany had sent me a text. She was like, hey, like, like, she's trying to figure out something to do with her daughter's hair. Her daughter's younger and just trying to, retain moisture and all that stuff. And I was like, hey, here's what I use. Have you tried the lock method? She's like, no. I was like, okay, here's some of the stuff I use. And I was like, I'm gonna make you a video. So I made a video, did a voiceover, added music, edited it, shot it to her real quick. Yeah. I did.
I'm about to drop
So
these garden
that's why I said, hey, you like I'm in an editing mood right now. And for you, those of y'all that also know or may not know, I hate editing. And you know what I think, here's the thing, what I think it is about it whenever we're having to edit like the audio, because I'm more of a visual person.
Yeah.
So I think that might be part of the like my disdain for editing our episodes. That sounds so bad because when I'm doing them, like I be laughing and you know what I'm saying. Like, go ahead and
Maybe
do
we
it.
should do more video podcasts, so that way we can start determining if we want to drop some of these as. Would y'all
Right.
want to see? Do y'all want to see our crazy faces?
Let us know. Let us
'Cause
know.
I mean, because we gonna hop on like we hop on the mic. We
Exactly.
we might give you a little braid action, a little facial here and there, but what we giving y'all today is hair wrap because it's conditioning. I'm
Yes.
conditioning my hair, and
Yes.
Tyrion is spot treating.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my face clear.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
So anyway, yeah, so I sent her that video and
I would like to see it.
so I'll send it to you. No, I will send it to you. Very quick little video. I think the video may have been like
Come on YouTube.
like I don't know, was it 3 minutes? About 3 minutes. And I just showed her like one little back section of me walking through and doing, like I said, did a little voiceover. And anyway, so I'll send that to you later on. But so that's pretty much that was pretty much my Mother's Day weekend. It's funny though. We ate dinner last night and had the dessert that Dre made, and then I was like, I'm gonna go back upstairs for a little bit, and then we've been watching the MJ The Last Dance documentary that's been coming on ESPN. Been watching it every week.
Oh,
MJ The Last Dance.
MJ. I was thinking about Michael Jackson. I was like, I missed that.
Nobody told me about Michael.
Ain't nobody told me nothing.
Jokes. No, but so yeah, The Last Dance, Michael Jordan. And so we watched. That's like been tradition the last like 3 weeks.
Yeah, we got to get caught up on that. I think we're on episode 4. We always watch it the weekend after. So. Got
it. So anyway, we were getting ready to watch that, and the girls were like, and I was like, you love Spawn. They were like, we haven't seen you all day. We haven't spent time with you. It's not fair.
Do y'all know what day it is?
Number one. Number two, I'm pretty sure you and your father had an agreement not to bother me. That was the whole point. Don't bother me, okay? Don't want to see you. Don't want to talk to you. I'll eat breakfast and dinner
invisible
with you.
today.
Yeah, I do not exist.
I don't see you. We just shift past. You don't
Man,
see me.
That's it.
When you see me in the street, homie, you don't know me.
You don't know me. Man, for real. So, like, and it was the little one. She was like, and the older one was like, the older one was like, yeah, we haven't. Really seen you today. And I was like,
she gassed it up.
Yeah. I was like, okay, that's cool.
They really try to throw some salt on you, make you feel guilty. Like
they really tried, like bad, to the point where I was like, okay, I was like, I know I'm supposed to be going in here. We're supposed to watch this MJ thing. I was like, I'm gonna give y'all 30 minutes. We can watch an episode of the Nadia's cooking show. It's like, we'll watch an episode of that, and then after that, I'm out. And they were like, okay. So we sat and watched that, and then I was like, all right, girls, like 30 minutes up. I'm going in here with your daddy. We're going to watch this. And they still try to play that. And I was like, listen, y'all, like.
This just goes to show you that a mother is always on, even when she's off.
Always on, for sure. And here's the funny thing, too. I ain't going to hold you. When I was upstairs and I was just chilling, watching movies and drinking my mimosa and eating my sunflower seeds, because I love sunflower seeds too. And I think Dre just texted me, he's like, you good? Like, you need anything? And I was like, no, I'm good. I was like, I ain't gonna lie though, I am kind of bored. And I was just bored because I was just by myself and like nobody bothered me. And I was like,
I ain't gonna hold you. I felt like that a little bit too, but girl, them braids, they. I think that's why I went on here and took them down because there was my activity, and I had a moment where nobody would bother me, so I can get it all done in one setting in one day. But
that's usually different when you're trying to do your hair. Because that's like a solace for me too. Like doing your hair, and you like, I don't want you talking to me. Like that's really like leave me be, like let me be in my element and take care of me type of thing.
Right.
So I get that definitely for sure. But like I said, other than that, it was a great Mother's Day. I know our granny called. She called you. You got to talk to her.
Oh, girl, granny is. Oh, my granny and my mom. I don't think I can repeat what my mom said, but we'll talk about that off. My friend, she was like, Mama, don't say it to nobody. It was a joke that she Oh, I was rolling. But yeah. Granny, Lord, granny. She called and I was like, well, hey, granny lady. I was like, I don't need to talk to nobody. I don't need to do nothing else yet. Thank you, baby. Ooh, thank you, baby. And what did she say? I can't remember what she said after that, but I was like, but yes, I'm thanking you because you created this pretty lady. You created a generation of pretty ladies.
Yes,
you know.
Did. Excuse me, I'm wiping my nose because I ain't got no tissue and it's running.
Hey, do what you do.
Okay. I call that little cocaine nose. I don't do cocaine now.
Please don't, Jesus. Please don't. Just say no.
Just say no.
Just say nah.
Nah. I'm good.
But no, granny is a joy to still have granny. But the for that wit of granny, man. And I knew she was calling you next. What did she say? I can't remember, but I just know we were wrote. No,
go ahead. Granny hit me with the same thing she hit my husband with the week before.
Oh, what did she do again? Oh,
yeah. Say what I told my grandson last week for his birthday. It says it's Mother's Day.
Let me just say this. The men in life, Granny is on the side with the men.
She really is.
You need to you better show my grandson a nice time. I'm like, Granny. And we're seeing it's very subtle.
Yeah.
Because Granny she don't hold her tongue for nothing.
Not at all.
I think that's where we get it from.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because you think about your daddy and my mama, they are definitely the two that don't.
Products, for sure. They do not hold their tongue.
I'm pretty sure it's a genetic trait. When God was creating the Macmillions and the Ellisons, he got this bow. And
he got a little heavy and he was like, I'm gonna put a little extra of that in there.
A little spice.
Right.
He just poured a whole gallon.
Right. Mix that up real good in there. That's gonna be the generation.
But no, it's always a joy to hear Granny's voice every time we hear her. But it's always special when you hear her on Mother's Day and on your birthday because she calls every birthday, every Mother's Day. It might be a day or two late, but she always say, I forgot the girl. I ain't gonna say what I was about to say.
Granny call on birthdays.
Storm blow.
I was gonna say on bad weather days. I just about them storms in Texas. I don't remember where y'all at, but I heard Texas and I heard them tornadoes, and I just had to make sure. And it's always storming out there.
Y'all just be blowing away. Soon y'all gonna be up here in Atlanta with me.
And then be like, well, I'm gonna get off this phone because these clouds get real dark over here.
It be real quick sometimes. I just want to call and check on you. I hear your voice now, but all right, let me go and get off. I was like, dang, Greg, you gonna rush out?
That was her, I swear, last week and yesterday. When she
Yes.
called, my phone died. I was just telling somebody, this phone going dead. I ain't gonna be on here talking all this time. So I'm gonna hang up. And then last week when she called to tell Dre happy birthday, and she talking to him, and I was like, all right. He's like, all right, thank you. Da, da, da. Hand me the phone back. I was like, all right, click. I was like, so she just
Yeah, like, y'all good, y'all breathing. Oh, okay, click.
yeah. Like, okay,
Greg.
I love you.
But yes, like you said, it's definitely a joy.
Yes.
Was there something else that happened? Oh, say this last thing, then we can get to our other topic.
Yeah.
Since we were talking about the weekend, Mother's Day weekend,
yes,
we cannot not mention the Erica and Jill.
Yeah.
I ain't even calling it a battle. It was a sisterly connection, man.
Yeah.
It was a soul lift. I would tell you that after the week that we had, which we're gonna talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so refreshing to end the week on that note, and just, man, y'all know how I feel about Jill, but I even just see even more so why I'm so drawn to her and her spirit and her personality, because I feel like she is me, I am she. Have a, even like when she was getting emotional, like about the crowd, like I feel you, I know, because I was over there about to tear up too. I was like, if this ain't me and Terry,
ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth? I'm sad because I came in 2 hours late. Completely forgot about it. I was filming some nonsense, well, not nonsense, but I was filming some stuff, and you were like, "Hey, you on?" And I was like, "Oh," I was like,
girl.
Because in my mind, all the battles I feel like have been on Sunday nights, right? In my mind, that's just in my mind. I know they haven't always, but in my mind, they always been on Sunday nights. So I was like, that's Sunday night. Anyway, and I was like, tonight, okay, hold on, let me get my phone. Like, let me hop in. And so it's like, you were like, they've been going for 2 hours. 2 hours?
It's 2 hours, girl.
2 hours. But the part that I did catch was man, just it takes you back all in your feels. That's just some good soul music that touches you.
And the stories, even the stories that they told behind them, even so. One of the things that I was wondering before they even started, when they first announced that they were going to kind of battle, I don't want to use the word battle because I didn't feel like it was a battle. Was like, what was the name of the song? The first song that they did, "You Got Me." I was like, who going to own that one? Because technically, I knew that Jill wrote it, and I knew it was Erica's focus on it. And I was like, both of them contribute their own greatness to it. So who? That was always my question, like who was going? And the fact that they started with that, and I didn't know the full story behind. I knew Jill wrote that, and that's she got started with the Roots, but I didn't realize that was her first ever song that she's written, and she only wrote that because Quest was like, I want you to write it, and she didn't believe that she could do it. She was like, I don't think I can write this for her, like I don't know if I got it. And it was something that it was a tweet that somebody wrote that kind of put it like in perfect terms. It was just like, the fact that Jill said that was her first song that she's ever written, and the only reason she wrote it was because she was asked by Quest, shows that, even when you feel like something is bigger than you, you got to step into that, because it proves that you are bigger. You are already bigger than that thing. You are already prepared and ready. And just how pivotal that moment was, and how, also the fact too that Erica never had anybody write anything for her other than that song. So
what?
it was, yes, they talked about that. So
Because I missed all this. Okay.
So Jill wrote that. That was her first song that she's ever written. And that song is like one of like the greatest songs.
That's a timeless song.
Yes. And she wrote that, and Erica put her vocals to it, and that and she let somebody else write for her. And like they both just
I'm sorry.
I was just but and then there was a point too when Jill mentioned about, because you know how I am about my writing, and I've written a lot of things that I've kept close to me that y'all have not heard or seen, and most of that is not as well. It was tied to me and my whole voice thing, afraid to get my voice out with people, because like Erica said, I'm sensitive about my right.
I'm an artist. That's
and
real.
I get afraid to put that out there sometimes because it's so deep and personal to me. And when I write, I'm just not writing words. I'm writing my thoughts, my passions, my expression. Like everything comes to life through my writing. Yeah. And if somebody like critiques that in a way or takes that in a way that is not intended, I hadn't got to a space where I was like, I'm ready to get this out into the world. Yeah. Well, Jill, I know she was speaking to over, because they had I think they announced that they had like over 1 billion impressions from their verses. So wow. That lets you know who run the world.
Girls. Okay.
Anywho, when she was talking to us, I feel she was talking to me directly.
Yeah.
Because, and I think I've shared this with you just recently, how I was in this funk not too long ago, because I've been, while I love podcasting, I truly do. And, writing has always been my first love and passion. And I felt like all through my life, everything has been overshadowing my writing. And I would get into something and my writing would kind of fall to the wayside. And, so I was kind of in a funk with that, and I was like, I really need to get back to writing. But Jill, when she mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing, but she mentioned that, she spoke to the writer. She talked about her experiences writing and how she was like, writing, that gift that is given to you is meant to be shared with the world. Your writing is not yours, so quit trying to make it be about you. That what was given to you in that space was to be shared with the world, because your art is your gift of the message that you bring to the world. And that's it's not you got to let that go. You got to get that out there. And that's how that was kind of partially why she because she started as like a spoken word artist. She was a poet. She still is. Let me just say
she's a poet for sure.
And I think that's another reason why I'm so drawn to her too, because I feel like we are like kindred spirits in so many ways. Anywho, and that kind of ties into like when she really started like getting her writings, that she wrote that song. And even stuff that she writes now, because she was talking about, she was telling a story about different songs. And if you not only listen to her music, but actually listen to the lyrics, it comes from a deep place. And it's more than just a melodic tune. There's
deep stories.
Yes. And I don't know. I really felt her when she talked about that, and she was like, so if you got it, you got to get it out of there, and you can't be shamed. You can't be worried about how people are going to take it or how they're going to critique it, because you know what the purpose is intended for, and you don't ever know who you're going to touch with your words.
That's real. That's real.
Thank you, Jesus.
Somebody was saying, and I'm gonna jack this whole thing up, because I'm not even sure I'm gonna be able to paraphrase it correctly. But so I saw a tweet where somebody was like Jill's music is like her music had like two sides, right? And this could be in the same song. She would write a song about like how she could be in a situation with a guy, knowing she shouldn't be in that situation, but then she could walk away and then like still like feel like self-empowered, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but girl, like I'm moving on, and then like saying Erica's music has always been more like self-reflective and like type of like we can't. And she even said that at one point at the part that I did catch when her and Jill were doing the verses, and I think Jill was just like kind of in alluding to kind of like just the week and just we as Black people and the things that we've had to deal with. And she was like, you know, we're tired, we're exhausted. And Jill was, I mean, not Jill, but Erica was like I'm past that. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like we don't acknowledge these things and feel these things, but more like at some point, like, man, they gonna do what they do, and we got to keep it moving forward.
She's mastered this piece within, because
yes,
man,
yes,
to be on that level, I strive.
To be on that level, but still I sigh. Still I sigh. Okay.
Yes. When she said that, I felt that deep, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
And I think too, which leads into kind of what we're going to talk about next. I think that definitely was such a soul refreshing, like, man, I know no disrespect, to all the other Versus artists or the future artists to come that's battle, which actually I think Nelly and Ludacris supposed to battle next weekend.
Here's my thing though, even with that, like, this is the first time we saw two women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to be in their space. And no shade to, like, you know what I'm saying, some of these other artists out right now. These women don't give us, you know what I'm saying, like the booty twerking shake, you know what I'm saying? Like the high.
Hello.
Like I love the fact that if it was gonna be the first two women to be a part of this series, these were some deep, grounded individuals with that musical talent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that, like I said, there's no shade to none of the other artists, because like, you know how I love me a heavy beat. You know what I'm saying? A good bass. I'll be able to feel it.
I thought you was going to say I love me some Heavy D. I was like, I didn't know that.
Don't really feel that way about him. Don't hate the man, okay? Rest his soul. Don't hate him at all, but no. But you know, I love a good heavy beat, you know what I'm saying? High energy type of music, but at the same time, like, just that stuff that really resonates with your soul, that here, and when you be like, dang it, who in my head? Get out my head.
Raises your
right
vibrations.
Now. Yeah. For sure. So I'm glad that it was those two ladies. And I'll always, you know what I'm saying, I shared this with you, but you know, my first experience here in Dallas was Erykah Badu, like my first kind of big event. When we first moved here, my 25th birthday was going to see Erykah live, and I'll never forget that experience. A little hole in the wall, a little spot, but
and they'll be the best. That intimate, yes. Oh, I can tell you, because you know I've seen Jill many times.
Yes.
But you know, that could be another story for another day. But yeah, I was getting at something.
We were kind of. Were you talking about like the next thing, or like were we moving on, like in conjunction with just the being able to?
Yeah, I know what I was saying. So yeah, I know, like Saturday, it definitely left us like on this, like, this sense of peace, this like this good warm Saturday. And I think too, you know, I opened up in certain ways too, from an emotional piece that was kind of like, I don't want to say muted, but that may be the word I'm using right now, because like, and now we're going to get into the other part of our conversation.
Sure, yeah.
As we know, the unfortunate events that, well, not necessarily it took place last week. Let's just say it took place months ago. But because there's been a big stir around it in the past week.
Because we saw the video.
Yeah.
We saw the video.
Yes. I'm not going to hold you. Last week, when they released the video, and Lord, I'm
I
gonna try to
hear it.
get through. I'm gonna
I
try to
hear it.
get through this without getting emotional. I might have
Yeah.
to flip the video because I don't want y'all seeing me ugly crying. I already don't look the best with my hair wrapped on.
It's all good. It's all good.
But I was not like I would. First of all, I've been already in a space where I had to start turning off TV. Like I limit myself to how much TV intake I get. If anything, we probably may watch TV on the weekends if we do that. I really don't watch TV that much during the week. And definitely when it was relate to news, I had to really stop turning.
Yes,
I mean, I would check something or check different sources just to see what's kind of going on. But outside of that, I had to kind of like
I couldn't watch
remove
another press briefing, Jesus.
Oh yeah, I had to stop that completely. But I had to like remove myself just from the news and TV in general. But then, you know, last week when this kind of heightened, I was on social media definitely because and I still haven't thanked everyone for my birthday. I'm getting to y'all, I promise I am. But because it was my birthday and different things, I was still getting, you know, alerts and stuff from that. And so I would check and, you know, all you see is the video and people in the commentary behind it and from all different aisles, which some of it, you know, creates this spark of like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I've had some emotions this week that was like I was hating some people. But we'll talk about that in a moment too. But overall, I would say my whole emotional stance was just I was numb. And I would see people giving and paying their tributes and doing different things. And I'm not gonna lie, I at the get pretty much the whole week I would watch and look at different things and I wouldn't necessarily have an emotional reaction. I would, you know, I don't know how to describe it. I was just
you
like,
became
I guess not.
desensitized.
Yes, and
innocent.
A part of me felt like I'm seeing everybody like giving their tributes and talking and speaking and giving their piece on it, and I'm like, you're not, you know, reacting, not. So I was like really questioning myself, like, dude, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you not? Like, do you not care? Like, I was really beating myself up, and I was like, why am I not reacting to this? And of course, going through the weekend, you know, still in this kind of summer space. Saturday definitely was the soul lift I needed. But actually Saturday, the day it hit me. Was it Saturday day? Yeah. Was it the day I called you?
That's when you called me. Yeah.
Yes. So that night definitely helped revive me. That was neat. So Saturday, so that morning through that day, I was in this like real, like, I don't know, it just hit me like a gut punch. Like I felt like the numbness that I had like went away. Like I felt it. And I didn't watch the video again because I only watched it once. I didn't need to see. I didn't need to see it again. To
see it the first time I saw it.
It's already still kind of mentally locked in your brain. So I was replaying in my brain, and I ain't gonna lie, I had a crying session. I broke down, because I felt not only just that, but just the layers and layers and layers and layers, years and years and years, decades and decades and decades,
centuries.
Eons and eons, whatever. In that moment. And everything went back to just your skin tone. Like that was the centralizing piece that causes so much pain for us. And seeing how that man was hunted down, like, and just thinking about how my own husband or my own family members, my own friends, how they do the same thing every day. Like, I don't know, it just affected me. So it affected me like Saturday day, and like all the balls of emotions, the anger, the rage, the hatred. This is when that's all formed. So during the week I was in like the somber space, but Saturdays, like when it all like
came to a head.
I was angry. I was like, I ain't want to be bothered. I was crying. I was sad. I was mad. I was ready to wreck some if we want a clean show, y'all get some words. Cause I got words.
She got words.
And also too, it made me think about I had wrote a poem actually 2 years ago. I actually have it written down. I wrote it on May 18th, 2018.
Wow.
And how those same words that I wrote, the name of the poem is called No Protection for This Complexion. And I may or may not read it. I feel like it's not complete, but you know how sometimes you can write something and you have a body work, you like it's done for that moment, but it's not I feel done. Like it's not a full body of work yet. But I wrote this at that time because I actually remember the day I wrote that poem was when the gentleman was barbecuing in the park, and I think there was also a guy, not actually it was T.I. He was actually arrested for trying to enter into the gates of his own home. Yes. And so I don't know. I wrote it during that time period, which is 2 years ago. And I went back and looked at the words that I wrote, and I was like, how is everything that I wrote even then exactly the same
still true today?
And I got angry all over again.
For sure.
And I was about to get ready and do like a video. I was going to recite the poem. Actually, had started. I was just kind of going to relay my feelings, but I didn't have it in me. Between the crying and the anger, I was like, I don't know. But I'm gonna wrap this up so you can have some say in this. But
no, you're fine.
Definitely that night, like we talked about Erica and Gio, that was a soul lift for me because that helped me go into things and process, especially you mentioned about what Erica said. I internalized that and it helped me kind of flow through the weekend with better. I did some deep prayer and meditation because when I tell you I had some hatred in my heart, like I had to like repent and feel like, God, I know this is not like, this ain't cool how I feel. But in a way it is, because you don't want me to like hold this in. Like, you know, I'm not perfect. And he knew, he knows. But I had some questions and I really had to like turn to God, like, man, I don't know if I can keep. Saturday, and I wasn't expecting, but y'all should know me by now. I'm a crier, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Don't be
these tears.
Give the people the tears. Give the people the tears, okay?
I'm a G with my tears.
Right. Listen, and don't come for me sitting up here because I'm not crying. I be trying to don't come for me.
No, don't come for you. We all process and always you.
Yeah.
Tara T.
Tara T. Yeah, I process my stuff. No, I'm just playing.
No, I'm messing. But no, that was just kind of like, kind of how my week flowed through. Like, I was really like shooting myself because I was like, I feel like everybody was like, doing their part or speaking their piece. And I was just like, it's whatever, which I didn't realize that was my way of processing, and but I felt
trying to deal and trying to cope with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, so I don't even remember specifically how the news got to me or came across me, but ironically my husband had seen the video, I think maybe the day before it got to me. He just didn't say anything because he was trying to process stuff, and he was so angry and upset. But and of course the first thing was the video. And so there's a couple of things I want to say about the video itself. And just, I know that we live in a social media era, right, where we catch everything on tape. And the video is a double-edged sword. I think on one end of the video, once again, this proves, hey, we are not making these things up. And to see, like you stated earlier, this young man was literally hunted down. Okay, this young man was hunted down and his life was taken away. Yeah, stay off mute because I need to hear your
Yeah, okay.
I don't care about your background noise. So that was one side of it, and it's so reminiscent to me of Emmett Till. Emmett Till's lynching, and the reason why I say it's reminiscent of Emmett Till's lynching, obviously I was not around when it happened, but because of how brutal his murder was, his lynching was, his mother said, I want the world to see what you did to my son, right? And so she made sure he had open casket, and we've seen the images. They're very traumatic, very disturbing images, but the world needed to see, because there are parts of America, parts of our country, parts of our world that certain things don't hit unless they see these things happen. And so I feel like in this instance, we got the video, and so we were able to see these things. But at the same time, on the other side of that sword, I hate that we saw the video. I hate that we are constantly
because that image will not go away.
The image doesn't go away. We become desensitized.
Yes.
And for those who are the extremists in these cases, I think it almost glorifies the lynching of Black bodies. And so that's why it's like it's two sides. There's a positive side, which we shouldn't even be talking about this, number one. I don't want to say a positive side. We shouldn't even be having this conversation.
And it shouldn't take a video for something that.
And it shouldn't take a video.
And it makes you think. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish your point.
No, go ahead.
It makes you think all the cases that have not been videotaped.
Exactly. And so that's how I feel as far as the dichotomy, which I don't even know if that's the right word, but just the double-sidedness of the videotape. The next thing from the videotape or the release of the videotape itself was that, man, okay, this videotape has been released. The majority of us have seen this video. I wonder what the excuse is going to be now from our white counterparts. You cannot deny the cruelty, the hate, all the things that we have been screaming about and crying about and protesting about and having dialogue about for decades. Movements that have been started. There's no way there was no nuance in this video. None whatsoever. There was no second guessing. And yet and still, you have people trying to justify this young man's lynching. you still had individuals.
That's criminalize the victim.
And of course we know how that goes, right? The video comes out, give us a couple of days, maybe a week. You know what I'm saying? We already know something from his past is gonna come up. Another video is gonna pop up.
They're gonna find the worst picture ever just to plaster on his on
the news.
That's right.
To justify the fact that his life was taken. And what happened? Videos started coming out, right? Oh, first it was, we just suspected that there were word of break-ins that were happening in the neighborhood, number one, which I think a journalist went to look for like the police reports. None had been filed.
And I think that somebody talked to the owners of one of the homes that was supposed to be getting built, and they said that they never filed any complaints or reports about break-ins or in their construction.
Boom. Okay. Then we get the video of what we see as Arbery just looking around and then going about his business. Since when does me going and looking at an open property, or you know what I'm saying, like, how does that justify someone's murder? How does that justify you in taking my life? Number two, you have no authority to
be a vigilante and try to take
like, so I don't care how many times you ask me to stop. Hey, I need to talk to you. If I don't know you, I don't have anything to talk to you about. Do you have some authoritative jurisdiction around here? Let me know. But you need to go through the right parameters before you trying to have a conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just think the complete and utter ignorance as far as trying to justify any part of this is, I think, mind-blowing. My next thought, and my husband, I think summed this up so well.
Yes, he does.
My husband wrote out his thoughts, because he had seen it the day before, but he didn't say anything. And then I was like, hey, did you seen this? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I saw it yesterday. He's like, but I didn't want to bring it up to you. He's like, I'm still trying to process stuff. I'm really not even trying to talk about it because I'm very like,
I'm fuming.
You know what I mean? Yeah, fuming right now. And I'll get to my personal, like my personal inner feelings here in a second. But and I said, no, I said, that's fine. I understand. We don't have to talk about it. But I noticed like the next day, like he's still being very like quiet. And I just asked him, I was like, hey, you okay? And he was like, yeah, it is what it is. He was like, I was like, what's going on in your mind? Just what's going on in your mind? And I wasn't necessarily meaning about that situation, but he just wasn't
himself.
Really, he wasn't himself. I could tell something was off. Yeah. And I was like, what's going on in your mind? He was like, I'm still just really thinking about all this stuff. He was like, I'm pissed, I'm angry. He was like, he's like, I've been writing stuff down. He's like, but I don't really know how to like, I don't know if I should put it out. He was like, because my words are just kind of all over the place. And I was like, okay. I was like, can I see what you wrote? And so he's like, yeah, here's what I have. And so I read what he had written, which you see, if you go to his Facebook page, you see the post he put out. And he added some more stuff to it, but that was pretty much the culmination of everything he wrote. And I was like, wow, like I hadn't really been able to articulate certain things. I am just bad at articulating my thoughts anyway, and words anyway. And it was like that, like that right there. And I was like, not just because you're my husband, but like that right there just summed up so many things. And for those of you who don't know, like Dre and I go to a majority white church. Like we are besides just being minorities, we are the
Yeah.
minorities
They're
in our
specs.
church. We are specs. And, we've had conversations. I'm not going to go down just that rabbit hole, but we've had conversations about race within our church and all these things. And here's the thing.
As a matter of fact, y'all actually led a racial reconciliation
panel for about a year on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. White people need to recognize, number one, that they have the privilege of, they can acknowledge a situation happening. And then they can go on about their daily lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a friend, she needed to pick up a book for me the other day. And so she's white. And so she picked it up and she said, "How are you doing?" And I was like, "Don't ask me that." Mm. And I think that was the first time like I was like on the verge of like tears, and it wasn't like sad tears, it was like pissed, angry tears. Number one, you can come to my house and you can ask me how I'm doing, because in my mind, and we had a couple of people reach out to us to ask us how we were doing, and I think every time, and while I appreciated the text and the phone calls and the sentiment behind it, I think what made me upset, and it's the first time I'm saying this out loud, what really made me upset about that was that I wanted to be like, whenever that question was asked me, I wanted to be like, how do you feel? You keep asking me, how do I feel? Because this is, to you, this is my issue. This is a Black person issue. But how do you feel? How do you feel about this situation? Why aren't you
feeling some
type of way?
Because the feeling for us is not a one and done. This is a constant threaded
all the time.
Like, this is something we have to think about when we don't even try to think about it. This is embedded in our DNA. This is embedded in our daily life as just being.
Every
what do you
single
mean?
day.
It's not a day by day. How do I feel?
Right. Exactly. So I want to always be like, you asking me how I feel, but how do you feel about this? Mm-hmm. And I said to her, I said, listen, and I was like, I ain't trying to be out here crying, but like everything is just kind of boiling over and it's coming out. And I was like, we live this on a daily basis. This is life for us. This is life for us every single day. We live with the trauma of this every day. We live on high alert every single day. It does not matter
from the
what
most mundane. It doesn't matter what the scenario, the situation is. It can be a simple trip to the grocery store. It can be us having dinner around the table in our home. It can be us driving on the interstate. It can be
anything. I told somebody this about a year or so ago back. I was like, it's so funny because we, for the most part, but like when we're in our home, like we can be fairly comfortable unless you turn on the TV or we're having a conversation about something that's happened outside the walls of our mm-hmm. home. But I was like I can rest and relax a little more at home because I'm at home and I'm with my family and I can be. It's like the minute I step my foot, I get in my car and I pull out of my driveway, there's something that clicks immediately without even thinking about it, but thinking about it at the same time. There's something that clicks. Oh yeah, you're Black.
Mm-hmm. It don't even.
And everybody around you is going to perceive you a certain way.
And for me, it's not even, honestly, I get what you're saying. Your home is your safe haven, but even sometimes I feel like that has been taken away from us, because even in your own home, even in your neighborhood, you still are that. And
absolutely. I'm not even saying exclusive from the neighborhood, because when we step outside and go for a walk.
Even within your home.
Oh,
because there are attacks even while you're in your home, just being. That's
in
what I'm saying.
Home.
What is our safe space? We can't even be safe while we sleep and dream. It's I think that's why it's so triggering for us when you ask us if we're okay, because there is not a moment in time when our spirit is not settled.
Exactly.
We are always on edge. We're always overprotective. We're always thinking about our next move. We're always worried about ourselves, our friends, our family members. We're always thinking about everything. We're never settled. Even when we may seem like we're cool and settled, we're not.
We are not settled. We have learned the art of facades. We have learned the art very well of, I mean, it's a survival mechanism, right? That's how we survive. And the thing too, you know, that I think maybe hit me a little bit differently. I don't even want to say hit me a little bit differently, because the truth of the matter is, every time we hear a name or see a face or see a video, it is Groundhog Day every single time. But my husband is a runner. You know what I'm saying? I run every once in a while. I may try to get a run in maybe once a week or so. But my husband is an avid runner, and you know, he's come in from a run, and just kind of, you know what I'm saying, be like, "Ain't for you, like neighbors tripping again today," type of thing. And I'd be like, you know what I'm saying, "What's going on?" He'd be like, you know what I'm saying, "I was running and saw a white woman," you know what I'm saying, and I like, and runners kind of have I don't want to say like a special language, but sort of, depending on where, I guess you can say where you're running, but sometimes you can
like some type of courtesy.
Yeah, so like if you're running and you come up on somebody, you're behind them, you usually may say on your left or on your right, or something like that. But you say something to let the person know, hey, I'm approaching you. I'm approaching you, and I'm either gonna move to one side or the other, type of thing. And I know sometimes people may have headphones in or something, but anyway, but he's had neighbors that are like, "Oh my God, you scared me," type of thing, or like see him running towards them and run and hop the street, hop to the other side of the street, like just, you know, dramatics. Dramatics. And my husband's like,
I'm just trying to just do the same thing that you're doing, and I'm not affected by how. And same thing with Cordell. Like, I even had to tell, because he used to like to work out like before the break of dawn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's too dark. I was like, I get it. You want to get it while it's cool, but either you run on a treadmill and don't put on no hoodie, don't put on no dark clothes, put on like, even all of that.
Like, why should we have to have that conversation about health, about running to take care of your body, your heart? Like, that is just absolutely ridiculous. And there's somebody, an artist that I know of, I feel like, you know, Cordell may for sure know who he is, but I don't want to call him Christian hip hop artist, but in that scene, that's who he's known as. But KB, you heard of KB?
Is that one of Lecrae artist?
Yeah,
he's probably like that. I think yeah, you've probably, I'm sure Cordell knows though, definitely.
Yeah. So literally, I think the day after, or it may have been the same day that the video came out, but I'm gonna say like the day after, he had wrote on his Facebook, he's like, "I hate that I'm even writing this," but he said, literally, he said, number one, he's like, I like to work out and I like to run. He said, but he said, I recently purchased a treadmill because the thought of me running outside, you know what I'm saying, basically is too much for some of y'all. And to think about my safety opposed to just my, you know what I'm saying, I purchased a treadmill so that I could get my miles at home. But he said, not only just that, but he said literally, I think that same day or whatever the video came out, he said he had just pulled in his driveway at home, and police car pulled up in his driveway behind him and said that, and he happened to be FaceTiming another spoken word artist that I need you to see, that hangs out with the group of people that spoken word artists. He happened to be like on FaceTime with another black guy who's a spoken word artist, and they were chatting as the police pull up and say to him, there have been some reports of burglaries in the neighborhood. You lightly fit the description.
You lightly fit the
You
description.
lightly fit the description. So basically asked him to like prove that they needed to see ID. He's like this is my house. You know what I'm saying? And the other guy that he was on FaceTime with was like, he said when KB told me that, hey, the police had just pulled up, he's like, I immediately started screen recording our conversation. He was like, the fact that like I went into like immediately like I need to screen record this happening just in case this thing goes left. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the heck? And so I think when I was like, this young man was out jogging out in his neighborhood. My husband does that all the time. And the thought of my husband not making it home, and don't get it twisted because I think about it every time that man leaves the house. He always makes sure to say, hey, I'm gonna go running. Hey, I'm about to go running. And I am pacing, I'm doing something, but I'm listening for the door. I'm looking at my phone, like all those things. And if the run's taking a little bit longer, I start to kind of get a little antsy. And I'd be like, how many miles did you go running? Like, because you was gone a little longer than you normally be gone, type of thing. Like, yes, because I am thinking, and this is Arbery's tragic murder. I'm thinking, God forbid, like, please, Lord.
Yes. And one thing that, because when I say I feel you in so many ways, I do. And it's gotten to the point sometimes where I'm like, I might not even feel like it, but I might say, I'm going to run with you. I'm going to walk with you, because I don't know if this lightens a blow any, but I feel like by me going with my husband, it makes them appear less than a threat. Is this it like make any kind of sense? Like,
are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah. And so I will go for one because of that. Two, of course, I need to exercise too, but that's neither here nor there. But because, like I said, I feel like we're giving the appearance that he's less than a threat. And if something does go down, I'm
somebody there to witness to.
No one should have to go through life to even have to like process that. Yeah. And I know that everyone probably has their story, but I know for a fact we have many stories, even personal stories that we can bring up, because I can tell you numerous of times when we've been followed and stopped,
profile
on the interstate, in our neighborhood, like literally, and with the kids in the car. That one was probably the worst. All of them have been bad, but that probably was the worst, because it was so terrorizing. The kids, for one, they were shook. They were like, we didn't do anything wrong. And then, even trying to calm them down and tell them, like, lower your voice, it's gonna be okay. Like, I can't even stand them. Like, I don't. Girl, I don't have any words. I
totally understand. Actually, have had multiple. My husband has multiple stories, but just the age old, like, even, hey, just going to eat at a restaurant and you looking completely past us. Here's the funny thing. Went to eat with some friends who were white. Okay. We're like Dre and I are standing in front of them. So they're standing like right behind us. We rode together in the same car, pulled up, got a car coming together, but Dre and I are standing in front of them. The hostess proceeds to look past Andre and I to our friends, and we're like, have y'all been helped? Yeah, how many?
Yeah, definitely had that before.
Be seated? I guess we just we ghosted something because
am
could
I
have
wearing
swore.
my invisible suit
I
today?
think I put my
I
invisible suit on today.
I didn't realize I
Didn't
put my
realize it.
invisible wig on, my suit and my boots.
And my heels. I was gonna say, gotta have my heels on. Okay. Clearly, the whole outfit is invisible. Like really. And our friends were like, they didn't even, and they didn't even say like, "Hey, we're together." They were like, "Do you not see them standing in front of you? Like, they're standing in front of us, but you ask us if we like." Wow, really? They're like, oh no, didn't. And then of course it goes into, oh no, didn't mean it like that. Stop, stop, stop. You know what I mean? Like, stop it. And so my next point, I know I got a lot. I'm going down.
No, bring them.
My next point. So then we moved to, yes, unfortunately, this young man, and also there was another young man the next day. Video came up the next day,
Yes.
where the same thing pretty much happened. It's different circumstances, but
yeah,
I can't even.
And that video surfaced like a month or so later too, right? Or weeks later, yeah. Go ahead with your point. Sorry.
So these young men, these young women, these Black people, we keep becoming hashtags in our nation. And of course, there's a movement that started, Iran Ramad, all these different things, right? And people are using their voices, you know what I'm saying, using their
But sometimes
their
I want to know, like, are they really using their voice, or is this just a fad for them? Let me just jump on.
So that was my next point. Yes, that's the point.
I had to
that's
get
the
it
point
out.
I'm getting. No, that's the point I'm getting at. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I made the statement earlier too. Like, this video is one of those situations where you cannot deny the cruelty, you cannot deny what happened. And so it makes it easier in this situation for you to jump on this social justice train and say, oh yeah, I want to be a part of the movement too. Or, oh yeah, because here's the thing. For white people, it almost at this point, for them, I think for them, it's like, if I don't say something, then I'ma really look bad. I'ma really look like a racist. I'ma really look like I don't care if I don't say something in this situation. So in some instances, this situation was easier for them to put a hashtag out, to say they went running, you know what I'm saying, to speak out against the injustices. But I want to know, when push comes to shove, where were you in 2006? Where were you in 2008? Where were you in 2005? I'm naming off years, and I don't know if I'm naming off the right years. Where were you in 2016?
No.
Huh? Where were you every other?
Not only that, where are you today? When all that is in, when we did the run with the mods, where are you today? When there's quote unquote nothing going on, where are you now in this moment?
That part. What are you doing today when there's not a hashtag that is live running right now? What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? Are you speaking against, in your own households, against your own family members, and tearing down white nationalism, white supremacy, calling people out on their BS and their, you know what I'm saying, their ignorance, their hate? Are you using your privilege in those ways? Because here's the thing, I feel like as much information as there is that's out there for you to learn from, there should really be no room for ignorance at this point. There should be no room for ignorance. So to say, oh, I didn't know, or well, that was no. And if you consider me as your friend, me specifically as your friend, and you talking about you don't know, our friendship has ended. We are no longer friends. And that's no dig at you as an individual, whatever, but at this point in my life, I don't have time for it. Because if you don't care, if you're ignorant to those issues, you don't care about me. You don't care about my husband. You don't care about my children. You don't care about my family. You don't care about people. You don't care about Black people. I remember somebody had posted in my thing and they were like, this is just, I can't answer. This is so horrific, and all this other stuff. And I was like, the truth of the matter is Black lives matter only to some of us. That's it. That's it.
That's it.
And so, yes, my tolerance for being like, well, let people catch up, let people learn. No, you need to be doing the work. You do the work just like you do the work for everything else, just like you want to find out about everything else, just like we've been telling you for decades about the injustices that happen in this country to Black people. There is no excuse. And I don't have, and I'm not here to spoon feed you. I definitely don't have the energy for that. I don't have the energy to spoon feed you my traumas. Okay? That's not what I'm here for.
And
I'm not your token.
I was just going to say, in each one of our experiences, while we may share the same skin color, our experiences are not the same.
Completely different.
I am not your poster child for all things related to the Black experience.
No,
you really want to show me you want to do the work, you go out there and really get out in the world and hear from other people's voices that share in this likeness. Because
here's the thing too, I also recognize, and I don't know, white people just be thinking we just like, if they be like, oh yeah, that's so bad, racism is bad, and you doing all this talking at me, that I'm like, oh my gosh, these are really great white people calling out racism and saying that racism is bad. No, not it. As far as I'm concerned, I can see through the BS. Number one. Number two, I also recognize that you look at me and my family as safe. Okay? We are safe Black people. Trust me, I know. We live in a nice neighborhood. My husband has a good job. We have, you know what I'm saying, our children are respectable. We are considered safe Black people. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that we don't know that you look at us that way. Okay. We are approachable. Okay. Go to South Dallas, go to Oak Cliff, where you think that those individuals are not approachable, where you think that's the hood, where you have a negative connotation of Black people. Go to those areas and have conversations with those people. Oh, you probably won't. You'll lock your doors. You'll never venture out in that part of town because that's too dangerous. Check yourself at the door. Check your biases at the door. That is never okay. Never okay. And then one last thing, and I'm sure I probably have a lot more stuff, but one last thing.
I would say we probably gonna have to part 2 this video. I need to color 2 hours. So we got
listen, I need to color these roots. My last statement, and there might be something else that comes up, but like Yana said, we might have to part 2 this. As far as I'm concerned, and I had to have this conversation with my children the other day, because we did have a conversation about this, just like we have a conversation all the time about the things. But we had a conversation specifically about this, and I said, let me tell you girls something. People do not hate you because of the color of your skin. Let's get this correct. Because for me to say that someone hates me because of the color of my skin means that there's something wrong. There's something bad about the color of my skin. That means that there's something bad about being Black. Wrong. People hate you because they have hate in their heart. Okay? They are consumed with hate. They are consumed with the idea that they are supreme beings. That is their problem. There is never, ever anything wrong with the color of your skin. And I wish somebody would try to equate the idea of you having tons of melanin in your skin
justifies their hate
for you. Never. No ma'ams. Don't believe the lie. Don't buy into the hype of your Black skin being a problem. Your Black skin is not the problem. They are the problem. That's all I got to say about that. So in conclusion, we want to dedicate this episode to both Sean Reed and Ahmaud Arbery's mothers. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say in all
And all too many to name, and that's sad.
Yeah.
And it's really upsetting me and my homegirl. Okay.
Mm.
If you was beefing at that wedding, you should have been beefing at that wedding. If you can't go to Bella Noche, then where the hell could you go?
I was like, where are we going with this?
I was like,
When?
dang, she not picking up on nothing I'm saying. I was trying to lighten the mood, but it didn't. It didn't
Oh,
happen.
no.
It did not
I
happen.
was going to end with reading a poem, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know. Like I said, the body work is not complete, but I do want to share some more words, but I don't know. A part of there is still a little fear there. Is I don't know. I don't have it memorized, so I will be. If I do read it, I'll be reading from my notes.
So I'm just gonna speak for the people, me being the people.
You the people.
Me being the people. I think the people would like to hear it. I also understand though if you're not comfortable, and I know as an artist, once again, like you're not feeling like your work is whole. But I think we the people, me the people, we would like to see it. We would like to hear it.
Okay, I'll give you a little bit of it. Other thing too is it takes me a minute to like get into like the feeling of the words.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to deliver it in the best way, but it might not come out right.
Sure.
Like right how I want it, but I am gonna at least give you the words.
Here's the thing: we can always edit this out if it, you play it back and you're like, okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's titled, and I'm going to read off my good old notebook here, but it's titled "No Protection for This Complexion," and this was written back in my notes from May 18, 2018. Goes a little something like this. Oh hell. Just got another alert. Let me start that over. I'm sorry. Oh hell. Just got another alert on my phone. Let's see. Another man criminalized for being the wrong tone. Okay, so maybe, that wasn't exactly the headline, but we know how this goes. There's nothing new about this news. The storyline is rather old. Guy arrested for trying to enter through the gates of his own home. Guy shot and killed for pulling out his cell phone. Cops called on Guy for barbecuing in the park. Guy shot and killed for walking home after dark. Can you imagine living in a world with a constant target on your back? Having to plan your entire day processing various scenarios to reenact. Trying to stay low on the radar just to prevent a potential attack. All due to society's crime of simply being Black. Can you imagine being born a criminal due to the color of your skin? Entering into a world with a record before life even begins. Living behind a constant mask and being so confused about your identity because you begin to think of your own self as the enemy, a total jacked up psyche, living a life not truly free. because if you're not behind bars physically, you are mentally. You have no clue how it feels to walk with this heel. Ain't no sympathy shown for those of my tone. Ain't no protection for this type of complexion.
I don't know if y'all can hear me snapping. That was me giving the snaps. That sums it up perfectly. That sums it up perfectly. And I know, like you said earlier, that you feel like it wasn't complete and it wasn't done yet, and there's still more to that. But I think for the moment that was perfect, and I think that's.
But you know, even the fact that even thinking about that and feeling like this is not a complete body of work, even that is triggering because this poem should not even have to exist.
No.
And the fact that I feel like there's so much more that should be said, that's left unsaid, that shouldn't even have to be said.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. You said something in the poem. Gosh. Something to the effect of like knowing that we are criminalized, like even before we're born,
Right.
and even like the idea that in some ways, even though we try to fight against that narrative, that we've still bought into that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we've bought into the idea so much because you view me as criminal or as a threat. I know you view me as a threat. And so I'm going to view myself the same way, but then I've got to put parameters in place to make you feel comfortable because I know that's how you view me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you tell me what other ethnicity, what other race walks through life like that? Don't worry, I'll wait.
There may be bits and pieces of the experience, but the true wholeness,
of course,
it's
the totality.
Yeah.
We live the totality of that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was not to discredit other ethnicities and other races because we know that, man.
But we know. We
get it wholeheartedly, 100%. We get it for sure. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. That was brave of you. Yeah.
Thank you. I was nervous. Yes.
No, you did great. That was good stuff right there.
Maybe you can do a treatment for me, but
I've got
when I'm really ready to.
No, listen. When we already come at this quarantine and social distancing and stuff, I still have one that I still have not completed from October that we did. But anyway, clearly, like I said, I'm definitely back in the editing mood again. So,
but that is where my heart is. It's
a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift, and yeah, that's good stuff.
Thank you.
It's sad that you have to write stuff like that. That's good stuff for sure. Thank you for that.
No.
Well, I'm trying to think of a way to
how we.
This is about rocking us out of here.
You tried to give us a light, and then I come back with a.
I did. I was like, I'm gonna take this moment. I'm gonna try to turn this around real quick. And I was like, she didn't get it. She didn't buy it. Oh no. I tried.
But no, I guess we really want to say is that we, of course, our platform is to amplify the voices and stories, and I'm gonna add experiences of Black women and share our personal stories and of transformation, of growth, successes, our lessons. But not everything is pretty. Not everything is pretty in this world. And there's a lot of ugliness that is being swept under the rug, and that's being, we've felt too often that we've had to silence our voices out of the fear of, of words being taken out of context, or how somebody will, accept our words. But Terry and I are beyond that point now. Like, we should be free to truly express how we feel and what this walk looks like. And, today parts of that was shown. And if anyone was offended, honestly,
we don't care.
I was getting to that, but I was going to just say, like, no, that's a situation you take up with yourself. We don't, we welcome people to tune in and listen to us. We don't do this for the glory. We don't do this to, we don't do this just because we're looking to get some type of, I can't think of the word right
accolades.
Now. Yes, we're doing this because this is deep within us. We feel like our voices, and particularly the voices of Black women, and our experiences have been silenced too long, and we've been overshadowed. And honestly, we want to create a space where we shine, and we really can share how we truly feel.
Yes.
And if you can't respect that, then, you have millions of other choices that you can tune into every day. And if we're not your flavor, choose another one. But we are here to stay. And as long as we have breath in our body, we're going to continue to do and run our show in the way that we want to.
That's right.
And spreading this light, and spreading, not only just spreading light, but we actually shine a light on the darkness. The pieces that are often overshadowed, the afterthoughts, the things that, we are so tiptoey on. So I'm just going to lay it out there. If this was not for you, then you ain't for us. Let's just leave it at that.
Melanate on that.
And that's it.
And that's that on that.
Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed our chat today. Keep the conversation going by heading to iTunes to subscribe, rate, and leaving us a review.
Have a story of your own to share? Email us at info@melanatedconversations.com or connect with us on social media at Melanated Conversations. Till next time, keep raising your voice.